Hey everyone, Joel from Life in Nica here. Thanks for checking out this video again. And this one is about the cost of living in Nicaragua in 2025. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to the companion article is in the comment section below as always. And you can always check out everything over on the blog page, and all of that is over on the website over at lifeinnica.com. So this and all the other resources are over there for anything that's hopefully helpful for you. So it's been a few years since I last talked about the cost of living here in San Juan Del Sur, and with inflation obviously hitting hard in a lot of the world, in North America in particular, I figured this was the perfect time for an update. So in past videos, the last one specifically, I talked about the pros and cons of living in Nicaragua as an expat, and one of the biggest pros, of course, is how affordable it is. So especially now with the tariffs, whether they're on and off in the States, and maybe rising prices elsewhere, probably more people are going to be considering moving abroad where the cost of living is lower, especially if you're not location dependent. So let's just jump in. A quick overview on monthly budget estimates for San Juan Del Sur in particular, because that's where I live. So assuming you own your own home, because that's obviously going to be the big savings if you do. So a single adult, you're looking at maybe $1,200 a month and up. A couple, anywhere from maybe $1,500 to $2,500 a month and up. And a family of four, maybe $2,500 to $5,000. And again, you can go up from there depending on how fancy you want to get. And in order to put that in perspective, let's say talking about the US and Canada, since 2019, grocery prices in the US have jumped 31%. In Canada, families are also spending thousands more just to eat. Home prices in the US and Canada have gone up nearly 47%, and in the States by 47%, and in Canada they've risen by an average of $119,000 in that time. So rent in the US is also up by about 33%, and overall cost of living more than 20%, and almost the same in Canada at about 18%. So now Nicaragua hasn't been immune to that inflation, but because we started from a much lower baseline, the actual dollar increases are much more modest, especially for local goods and labor, which have often remained affordable, especially in terms of the food and produce and everything like that. With one exception, obviously being construction, because materials have a global price. Obviously, otherwise people would arbitrage them between countries. So, for example, steel has gone up by about 43% in that time, which is why I often recommend looking or buying an existing home rather than building from scratch, at least if you're looking at first. Even renovations are much more cost effective due to the low cost of labor, which remains relatively inexpensive here. Now, unless you find the perfect lot, like that can help you with that, and you want to design your dream home or build from the ground up, I would recommend buying an existing property and then modifying it however you want to make it yours. So, as for why so many expats have been making the move down here, we've obviously got a lot of remote workers, digital nomads, retirees, and one of the main reasons they're relocating is that cost of living difference. So in San Juan del Sur, you can enjoy an amazing quality of life for a much lower amount than what you would likely spend back home. Plus, you've got the relaxed lifestyle, the welcoming locals, and an incredible natural beauty, which make it even more appealing. So now I'm based here in San Juan del Sur, and it's been a long time favorite destination for expats and retirees. So let's break down what you can expect to spend in 2025. Now, housing costs, obviously, this is assuming you own your own property, which is going to save you a lot. Now, housing prices vary a lot depending on location, size, and amenities, obviously. And the most popular areas for expats are San Juan del Sur and Tola, and Granada, but that's becoming less and less of an extent. And buying your own property, obviously, is going to lower your monthly spending by a huge amount. Obviously, rent is a huge chunk of income, a huge chunk of your spending if you've got that. So I don't manage rentals myself, but we can recommend really trustworthy rental managers if you're looking for that, and I can help you out as best I can. So rental prices have gone up since 2019, but they're still fairly affordable by international standards, and you might pay for, let's say, a basic one bedroom in town, $400 to $500 a month, up to well over $1,000. One bedroom outside of town, $250 to $625, again, and up from there. A luxury 3-bedroom with a pool on an ocean view, if you got a family or something, $1,200 to $1,800, and usually and again, up from there, but usually get a deal the longer term, the longer your rental goes. Now, utilities, up on the next one, those depend on your usage and the size of your place and often how many air conditioners you're using. So electricity is usually the biggest factor, especially if you're using a lot of aircon. I have a multi-unit property with a number of aircon units, and I've learned that the older units often aren't even worth replacing. They've just gotten so much more efficient. So if they're more than a few years old, it's often better to upgrade rather than try and fix them. I often pick up open box units at Cinsa, which is like our Home Depot, so like the floor model, and they're like relatively inexpensive, and they pay for themselves in electricity savings in like a year or two. So in terms of what you'll spend on electricity, like $120 to $400 a month and up, depending on your aircon usage. Water, $5 to $50 depending on usage. You've got a pool. Internet, 25 to 100, and I have Claro, 50 megabytes per second. Fiber optic, and that's about $60. Gas for cooking, we don't have gas lines, so I spend about $15 a month, and that covers the tank for the month. Now, going on to groceries, now that's one of the biggest advantages of moving down here. Now, I eat locally sourced food, and I have a pretty high protein diet. I eat really healthy, mostly everything local, so I'm probably on the higher end of the spectrum for spending. And I do have an article and guide on shopping in San Juan Del Sur. I should update it because there is a new grocery store in town called Aurora, Mass, which just means save more, and that's like a really nice grocery store. It's not real big, but it'd be in like a nice grocery store, nice medium-sized grocery store in Canada, the States. So my bill probably is about $400 to $500 a month, but that's also including like protein powder, tons of eggs, tons of fresh meat, tons of seafood. Most single adults, you're looking at like $300 a month. A family of four, my budget, $1,000 to $1,400 a month for groceries. And if you want more imported items, they're totally available. Like we've got Costco, which is PriceSmart in Managua. And so you can stock up on Kirkland stuff, and then you get your imported wines, cheeses, anything like that. And those are obviously going to bump up your price. Anything imported is much more expensive than all the good local stuff. So as for dining out, eating out here, again, super affordable compared to North America. We've got like local comedores, which are like your little eateries, buffets. I mean, you can get pick up a buffet meal for like $3 to $5. So your mid-range restaurant meals will maybe be $8 to like $15, and high-end $20 and up. But I mean, that's like lobster on the beach. So that is considerably cheaper than most places back home. I've got a full video and article on my favorite cafes and restaurants, and you can check that out in the video over. Again, that's over on the blog, and it's in the other videos on YouTube there. So. Transportation here is another big win, personally, I think. Vehicles here have a higher upfront cost, but they hold their value. So, and if you're planning on staying here long term, buying a vehicle obviously makes sense. I also have a full guide on buying a vehicle, but here are some quick tips, just my opinions. The best pickup truck is the Toyota Hilux, which is not available in North America, probably due to emission standards. The best SUV is a 7-seater. That's the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. I have the turbo diesel version, and it gets amazing gas mileage. It's probably my favorite vehicle I've ever had. Gas prices right now, about $1.33 a liter, diesel being a little cheaper. And basic car insurance is crazy. It's only about $60 per month. And I just have basic because the cost of repairs are so low. And at this point, I've probably saved the whole vehicle's worth of costs by just doing that. Repairs, about 50 to 80% cheaper than North America, and I recommend One Stop Auto Shop in town. I've got a link to that. They're the best mechanic shop in San Juan del Sur. Now, as for healthcare, it's free even for foreigners, and the local public hospital in San Juan del Sur is surprisingly efficient. The facilities are really good. The only thing is, most of the frontline doctors don't speak English, so it's fine for things like, I've had friends get, a little broken, like a cracked wrist or broken ankle, and you can go in for treatment, and within a few hours be in, out, casted up, and it's all for free. But most people, and for more serious care, most expats opt for private insurance. Vivian Pellis Hospital near Managua is the top choice. It's got English-speaking staff, and it offers international health insurance through their Club de Salud, ranging from $30 for a kid, $60 for an adult, $95 for a senior. Dental care here, also really good. I just got a cleaning and it's like 3 teeth fixed, and it was like $120. Now, as for fitness, leisure, and wellness, I go to Move Viva Fitness, and that's about $40 a month for the gym membership. Zen Yoga is the top yoga place. A 10-pack of classes is $70. That's $7 a class. And massages, I go to Art of Healing. They're not the fanciest, but they do really good deep tissue. That's about $30 a massage. So as for education, that's going to be obviously a larger part of your budget if you got kids. And most expat families send their kids to the San Juan Del Sur day school. It follows a U.S. style curriculum, and tuition is about $400 a month per child. So, that's obviously if you got kids that are in school age, that's going to be a portion of your budget. That is, that's just fixed. That's part of having kids. So, I guess to sum it all up, your costs are going to vary based on your lifestyle, and please check out the article for more in-depth. I don't want to make this a 40-minute video, but San Juan del Sur remains really affordable, and it's a really rewarding place to live, especially for expats, retirees, remote workers, and now whether you're budgeting like trying to get closer to like $1,000 or $5,000 and up, you can create a lifestyle here that's really fulfilling. Obviously, we've got warm weather, beautiful beaches, really welcoming community, and a lot lower cost of living than what most people are often used to. So if you're thinking about moving down here or investing, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to share advice, connect you with trusted locals for anything, ranging from mechanics to rental managers. I'm happy to do so. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe and like it. And you can connect with me. You can send me any questions at the end of this video. All my contact information, and it's all in the bottom. It's all in the comment section as well, and obviously over on the website. So hopefully I will see you on the next video. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.